Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is something new we're trying out at 13 Wham Television. We're going to ask the expert today, and we have Oaks Construction in the house. Frankie, thanks for coming down today. We're talking about your roof and maybe a few other spots that could get a little tricky in the house this time of the year. And from what I understand, we're kind of getting to Super Bowl season
Yeah,
for the roof, huh?
we're getting there. We're getting there right now. Yeah, things are starting to heat up for us. It's getting real busy. Probably towards the end of next week, we'll start seeing that calendar fill up a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, and so from a background in weather here, we also have tropical remnants coming to town tomorrow. For the homeowners out there, what does that mean when they take a look at their roof and they see a forecast from us that may say an inch or two of rain? What does that do?
So typically, if your roof is not sound and safe, you're probably going to see some leaks coming inside, and
Yeah.
that's obviously concerning for a homeowner for sure.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little background. You've been with Oaks Construction for a little while now. How did the company get started, and what was the motivation for the ownership to get going?
Yeah, so our founder Chris Oakes started the business back in 2003. He started as a siding subcontractor. His dad was a sider himself, and Chris rented the gear from Tom, his dad, and started the business just like that, and then slowly progressed his way up into what we are today, and a full service exterior home improvement company.
And so it goes ground up. I mean, we're going to concentrate on roofs today, but anything in the house.
Solar, windows,
Wow.
doors, gutters, siding. Yeah, we can figure it out for you.
And that's such a big topic today. You mentioned the solar. We should probably talk about that at some point. But is I mean, a lot of folks they look at it now. They say, if I'm going to put a new roof on, first, what are we going to do? Are we going to do asphalt? Are we going to do metal? After that, do we jump in and do the whole solar thing? Right? I mean, that's
Right.
that's a big topic, right?
Right, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So, typically, I would say 95% of the time, homeowners usually go towards the asphalt side of things.
Mhm.
On that note, too, we do work with JAF Solar, so we do have a nailable solar shingle that's an all-in-one with the roof, which is really cool.
Wow.
Also, we are certified with Owens Corning as well, and Owens Corning just debuted a system where you can use a rack-mounted solar system
Wow.
and still get a 50-year warranty on the roofing shingles and a 25-year workmanship warranty
Wow.
to go with that.
50 years.
On manufactured defects on the shingles, yeah.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
and how long does the average person even own a home these days, right? I mean, you look at it from that
I
side.
mean, I'm in
Yeah.
my 30s. I mean, a 50-year roof could outlive me,
Yeah, right.
It's
That's pretty wild.
yeah.
That's pretty wild. So we're probably going to get some questions on Facebook, and if you have any questions to ask, certainly jump in. This is the best part about Facebook Live is that we can kind of stay laid back and just talk about not only the roof here, but maybe some of the audience has different questions too that they want to jump in on. But let's talk about Oaks in the community.
Mhm.
You're busy in other events too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we are going to be at the Brockport Festival,
Cool.
through the parade there, on Thursday. Saturday, we'll be at the Owaka Festival
Oh wow.
as well, or on Saturday there. So, staying nice and busy there. Do like to give back to the community as well. So, every other Tuesday we have a Taco Tuesday for employees of Oaks Inc. And there, the guest bartenders are usually a manager. So I did it a
Ah,
couple weeks ago, and we're have a choice to give the tips to a certain donation center.
oh,
So
that's really
yeah.
cool. What when people stop down, what do they like to see? They stop in and they see you, and you've got different props maybe set up. What does everybody like to
Yeah,
see?
so we do have 2 different showrooms, so one in Spencerport, one in Webster.
Okay.
There, I mean, folks come in and see all sorts of crazy things there. So both of them are set up for exterior, and our sister company, Kitchens by Oaks. So we have kitchens and bathrooms set up in there. We have little shed houses set up inside where there's siding and different
Wow.
roofs and different types of siding. It's really really neat. But every person's different. Everyone comes in and kind of has different questions, different projects in mind, and our job is just to kind of help navigate that for you and make sure that you're making the best decision for your home.
That's great. I was walking by the Spencerport showroom this morning, and it's nice. I mean, it's laid out, and I mean, different segments inside. You walk around, you get to experience everything that you'd see in the home. So let's switch and bring in the concerned homeowner now.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, I bought my house 15 years ago. is it time?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, and maybe we can, briefly touch on topics like cost or time to replace. When should I replace? But what should I be looking for as a homeowner? I've got an asphalt roof. Um, what's the warning signs?
So yeah, great question. Great
Yep.
question there. So things that you want to look out for is if you have an older style of architectural, or I'm sorry, asphalt roofing shingles, right?
Okay.
So they're called the 3-in-1 or 3-tab shingles. They're more of the laid flat, rectangular shaped shingles
Yeah.
that just go across. Those ones don't have as high of a wind warranty as the newer technology shingles do today.
Okay.
Those ones usually max out at about 60 miles per hour.
Wow.
Obviously, as I'm sure you know, winds
Yeah.
have been picking up, and the higher you are, so your roof is obviously going to be the highest peak of your home, the wind gusts actually pick up. So
Yes. So the thunderstorm warnings that we get around here,
Mhm.
the Weather Service has to issue those when the wind is going to be higher than 58 miles per hour, and also for the potential of hail. And do we ever? I mean, we get hail around here, but do we ever get enough hail to where you've actually gone up to a roof and looked at it and said, "Wow,
There's some hail
that was
damage
some hail
there.
day." Yeah,
Yeah, so I believe it was either a year and a half ago. Canandaigua got hit pretty hard with
yeah.
some hail damage. Canisius Lake also did as well. So there was a couple houses over there that I went up there and was able to work with the insurance company and the homeowners and get their full roof replaced for nothing more than their deductible, which is
So,
really
how
cool.
big of a hailstone does it take before you start to see?
Something around a nickel to a quarter. That's
That's
all you
it.
really need.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't imagine out in the Midwest. That's gotta be. I mean,
It's
they could.
crazy.
Some of those are softball size
For
coming down.
sure.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. But so I'm looking at if I see a shingle that's starting to peel up or lift up, that's an obvious warning sign, right? I mean, you can see that from
Absolutely.
the ground as a homeowner. But anything
Yeah,
else?
another thing to look for from the ground as well is if you look up at your roof and you see some shininess around
Okay.
the edges of the shingles, that's the fiberglass mat being exposed.
Okay.
The fiberglass mat that the shingles are built up on is the base layer, right? So
Okay.
they run that through a bunch of different asphalts and then the stones get glued onto there. If you can see that base layer, I equate that to being like the wires exposed on your tires,
Wow.
right? Like you're down the
Yeah.
bare minimum. It's really time
You
to
don't
start
want to be
doing something
sparking on
there.
the road when you're
Yeah.
driving. That's not a good light show, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so and you're looking at that, and then from I would imagine most of the damage comes in winter, right?
Yeah,
With
winter ice damming, things like
yeah,
that. Obviously, you're going to blow those shingles up, break the seals. Obviously, that's going to be a telltale sign that it's ready to go.
and you run heat tapes and all that other kind of stuff, and
Yeah, you got to be careful
yeah.
with heat tapes. Heat tapes can void your roofing warranty.
Oh, really?
So what ends up happening is the clip has to go into, it has to clip onto the shingle itself, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, it breaks the seal of the shingle, so it actually ends up voiding the warranty there. So really, what you want to do to avoid ice damming is there's a couple things you got to look for. So one's going to be insulation, which
Okay.
we can help with as well. So you want to have proper insulation. You need to have proper air intake.
Okay.
So you want to have equal parts air intake and exhaust.
Okay.
So whether that's from box vents or a ridge vent going on the roof, and then the intake, typically you're going to want it at the soffit. So that way the coldest part of the air is going to run from the edge of the roof up to the ridge there.
So
up to
I
the
would have
top.
had no idea. This is why we are asking the expert, okay? Because everybody goes on YouTube now and downloads a video and thinks that they can get on their roof and put a roof on a house now.
Absolutely.
But this is why we have the experts in here. So, but so like a warranty on a asphalt shingle. I mean, how long does that? Let's say you do a total tear off.
Mhm.
How long is that good for? A warranty on a new one?
So if you have proper air intake and exhaust with the brand new shingle that we offer today with that 50-year manufacturer defect, with proper underlayment, so 6 feet of ice and water shield from the eave going up, you have synthetic felt covering the rest of the roof, starter strip shingles going along the eaves and the rakes, you can get up to a 25-year workmanship warranty
Wow.
with backed by the manufacturer itself. So if anything were ever to happen to us as a company or anything like that, GAF, Owens Corning, Certainteed, they will back that warranty and send out another master installer or ourselves to come and fix that roof for you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. How many teams do you guys have running around town?
I would say
working-
on average, probably about 10 crews a day going out there. So I would say anywhere from, about 10 roofs a day are getting crushed out. Yeah.
And from start to finish, it's
Start to finish.
one day,
I
or-
usually say a typical house around here will take a day. There are some obviously houses that are a bit taller,
Yeah.
larger, more cut up. But typically about a day, torn off by lunch, installed by dinner.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But what's the most difficult experience that you've ever run into in working in one of these environments?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, older homes around here, typical roofing for older style homes was cedar shake. So basically, you'll find that they still have the cedar shake base layer from, the 1900s, 1920s, with multiple layers of asphalt roofing built
Wow.
on top of it.
Wow.
Where now state code is a max of 2 layers. So now if we go and see something like that, we can't put another layer on top of it. We have to
Yeah.
tear it all off. So
Wow.
that's a lot of debris. You'll see it a lot in the city of Rochester too. So obviously big houses closer together, it makes it just a little bit more difficult,
Yeah.
but we navigate it all the time.
You see that older style shingle, and I mean, is it a weight concern at that point? Because this stuff is heavy, right?
Yeah, it is heavy.
Yeah.
It's a weight concern. It's a fire
Yeah.
concern too. If you got a fire going on, firemen need to be able to cut through the roof a little bit easier.
Gotcha.
So having all that
Gotcha.
extra debris is going to make that a lot harder.
Yeah, and if that ever got hot enough to burn, and
Yeah,
that's
especially cedar. It's been dried out there for
Yeah.
over 100 years. That's ready to go.
That's not good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a
Yeah.
great spot to be. So, is there anything that you'd want to tell everybody about either working at Oaks or for the customer experience, why you love it?
Yeah. So great question. I do appreciate that. So
Yeah.
here at Oaks, like I think just the culture in general is like we're just one big happy family. We're happy to help everybody. And I want to give my clients the best experience from start to finish. So you call us. Our call center team is larger than most other roofing companies in the area.
Wow.
Right. So when you call, there's someone that's going to be there to answer the phone or get back to you almost immediately. From there, we're going to get you scheduled with an estimator that's in your area, that's dedicated to that zone, that zip code. And we're going to come out, show up on time at that scheduled time, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to ghost you. We're not going to promise to show up and then not come. We show up on time every single time. And then from there, we're able to walk homeowners through pretty much everything from start to finish, what the process looks like. We have apps and pictures. We use an app to give us precise measurements within 1/10 of an inch.
Wow.
So that way there's no human error when pricing out your roof, right? We have a very honest pricing experience. There's no negotiations or things like that. We work off
Yeah.
a price sheet based off our measurements. So we're just giving you a true honest price. And then from there, it's a pretty seamless install. As I said, it gets done within a day. Our crews are very knowledgeable. Our roofers, all they do is roof. Our siders, all they do is side. So that, there's really, you're getting an expert through and
Yeah.
through from start to finish, which is great.
Yeah, and hot days like today, it's got to be
Yeah,
something.
it's
How much
crazy.
water would you drink on a day like today?
I drink the whole thing.
The whole thing, like a whole gallon?
the whole 30 pack that's there. But
That's
no, I'm just
amazing.
kidding. Probably
Yeah.
you go through a lot. You go through
Yeah.
a lot. You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
out
Oh,
there.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
especially it's a lot hotter on those shingles too, especially on asphalt.
Yeah.
Put your hands on it, you can get blisters pretty quickly on a
Oh,
hot
for
day
sure.
like today.
For
Yeah.
sure. I can imagine that. Well, we really appreciate it. Frankie coming down from Oaks Construction here to tell you about roofing and what to look for in the house. Maybe another time we'll start to get into other spots in the house.
For sure.
Towards the winter we can start talking about the inside stuff or down the road. So, but thanks for coming down. Thanks
for
for
having me.
talking to the people on Facebook about roofs. We'll get to some questions and answer them on Facebook as soon as we can. So thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.